G'day guys, welcome back to another Bitcoin video. The short-term price action on Bitcoin is overbought. There's certainly no doubt about that. It's been overbought for a few days. I'm actually surprised we even got this high in the first place, but the fact of the matter is that doesn't change the macro picture. The macro picture is getting better and better by the day. We've looked into this extensively over the last few months. I've been saying the bottom is likely in at 15.4k ever since it happened, essentially. 4-year cycle theory, all that stuff, been talking about it for literally a year since 60k. But essentially, none of that's relevant now because we're in a new phase of the market now. We're in a point in which we're trying to create a trend reversal. It hasn't occurred yet. It's very important to note. It has not occurred yet, but we're attempting to. And the weekly candle close that will be occurring in around 18 hours by the time this video gets out will give us a lot of clarity as to whether that trend reversal will occur, and will give us a lot of clarity as to whether we should be buying or not. Now, I made myself very clear in yesterday's video. If we close the weekly candle above 19.5k, which is above the bull market support band, provided nothing looks particularly terrible tomorrow, because we do need to remain open to circumstantial analysis, we will buy. I'll be making a video tomorrow, just after the weekly candle close, to go over whether that buy will be an active buy or not. Now, I do expect Bitcoin to close above that bull market support band. It's something that I expect. However, it is interesting to note the fact that the short-term price action is looking very ugly. So if we do see a sharp correction, it wouldn't be completely out of this world. We need to get into quite a lot in this video. There's a lot to talk about, macro, short-term, etc., and when we're buying, and potentially if it's going to be tomorrow. All right, let's get into it without further ado. One thing I will say before we get into it, is the Crypto Academy courses. If you're interested in learning how to trade, interested in doing analysis in the same format that I did analysis, if you're interested in calling tops like I did at 63k, the way you do that is by learning TA, and you can do so using the website, the Crypto Academy courses, in the description and pin comment below, and chucking us an email over there. We'll get back to you with that within a couple of hours. All right, guys, let's get into the video. Okay guys, so I've made it very clear in previous videos here that I'm planning on buying Bitcoin if we get a weekly candle close above the bull market support band. My opinion on that has not changed in the slightest. I'm still standing by that. It's needless to say, we've broken above so many things in the last 2 weeks here. We've had a massive move to the upside the last 2 weeks. Huge bullish momentum, strongest bullish momentum we've seen since probably March 2022, when we had that pump from 38k all the way up to 48k in a matter of weeks. And it's great to see, but there are early warning flags, warning signs, red flags, I should say, of a short-term correction, and there's many of them, right? It takes a very simple level of market analysis to know that we're extremely overbought in this territory. You bring up the daily RSI, for 1 second, and you realize that we haven't seen levels in the daily RSI this high since January 2021 during the initial bull market bounce. We're also at the highest point we've ever seen in the entire price history of Bitcoin, I think, on the 12-hour RSI. So, to act like this is not an area in which we're looking for a correction is ridiculous. If you're longing here, you are completely and utterly late, and you should completely and utterly relearn TA and stop what you're doing, because that is a ridiculously stupid thing to do. You cannot be longing when we have the highest 12-hour RSI in Bitcoin's entire price history. It's completely irrational, right? But, important to note, just because the short term is in need of correction doesn't mean the long term doesn't look good. We've broken so many things to the upside on this break to the upside that was a stupid sentence, but the fact still remains. We've broken above so many critical indicators that the structure is undeniably relatively bullish at this point in time. Why haven't I bought yet? I haven't bought yet because we haven't closed above the things I want to close above yet, right? Daily candle closes are not enough to confirm macro reversals. We need to see weekly candle closes, and in fact, weekly candle closes are honestly barely enough. So just know that when I'm buying here, I'm actually buying early. If you want to be more conservative, you should be buying a lot later than me. So 18 hours until the weekly candle close. That weekly candle close would confirm not only a close above the bull market support band, but also a close above the 300-week SMA in blue, which we rejected from in December, and we found a bottom on in 2020 during the COVID drop. So lots of bullish stuff happening here in 18 hours. Again, just playing into what I said before with the short-term bearishness, don't expect Bitcoin to continue pumping massively over the next few days, right? It doesn't seem likely, in my opinion. Even the Ethereum chart, for example, broke to the upside, but it's at resistance now. It's at a red box of resistance. Total cryptocurrency market cap's at the same thing. Resistance at 965 billion. So to act like, Bitcoin's going to see a repeat of this dramatic move to the upside it saw in the last 2 weeks over the next 2 weeks is completely ridiculous. If it did that, I would be shocked. I would be completely shocked. Right, but again, that doesn't mean we correct downwards straight away and crash. It just means that, it's time to settle down a little bit. I don't think this upwards momentum is going to continue at such a rate that it has perhaps we need to take a break and go downwards a little bit. Where do I see a correction likely to go to? Well, I can answer that question. All right, and I'll delete some lines first so I can clear this up and show you. I think that if we do see this short-term correction, which I think is likely, and I think most people who do any sort of TA ever would agree that it's objectively likely, we will see a correction at best down to the 200-day SMA, flip that region, but at worst it could even retrace all the way down to probably 17.7k. We could see that in form of a wick, right? And even then we probably wouldn't lose the bull market support band because it'd be trending downwards rapidly to that region. So long as we do not lose 17.7k, right, which would be losing this red box, we're okay. That's my opinion on Bitcoin right now. So long as we don't lose 17.7k, the market's pretty bullish. And the reason I say that, the reason why I'm saying 17.7k is so important is quite simple. 17.7k is the line in the sand for Bitcoin over the last few months since June, right? I should say 6 or 7 months since June, because look what's happened with Bitcoin, right? When we dropped down in June initially, we bounced off of 17.7k. We saw a range just above it, right? And when we finally lost it, when we finally lost 17.7k, we saw a long range below it. Now we have broken back into the previous range. So for us to lose 17.7k, we would be breaking back into the old range, the more bearish range. And from that point, I would expect a rejection downwards and new lows, right? If we lose 17.7k, I'm relatively likely, I find it relatively likely or relatively possible that Bitcoin would probably go down for new lows, and in which case it would break the 4-year cycle, and in which case it probably wouldn't bottom out until the S&P does, and in which case it wouldn't even bottom out till 2024. So yeah, I think 17.7k is very much the line in the sand. If we lose that level, Bitcoin's in big trouble and probably won't even bottom out this year. Right, and you might say, well, Wolf, how can you make that claim? That's a big claim to make. And yes, it is a big claim to make, but that's just how I see the charts right now. I think with such a move to the upside, with such a strong move to the upside in line with the 4-year cycle, in perfect timing with the 4-year cycle, perfect connection with it, in perfect timing with the DXY def cross, which generally leads to upwards price action for Bitcoin, in perfect connection with the 8-year uptrending support line, for us to lose 17.7k after all of that, mate, there's not really much of a chance of Bitcoin finding a bottom at 15.4k, I'll tell you that much. So yeah, 17.7k is the line in the sand for sure. So as long as we're above that level, everything's healthy. That's what I say for Bitcoin right now. As long as we're above 17.7, everything is healthy. I want to briefly interrupt this video to talk about the Bitget Exchange. The Bitget Exchange has 5 times lower fees than Binance on futures. It has a rewards center, it has a protection fund, it has events regularly run. For example, the FIFA World Cup event it ran recently was in partnership with Messi, the famous football player. There are many reasons to sign up using this exchange here, but if you sign up using my exclusive referral link, which you can find a link to in the pinned comment or description, you will get a further 15% decrease on futures fees, and you'll get access to an exclusive reward center in which you can gain access to 4,000 USD in rewards via completing various tasks of various difficulties. Signing up to this exchange using my referral link is by far the best way you can support the channel, and it's the best way you can support yourself as a trader gaining access to the cheapest exchange on the cryptocurrency market. Now, for my viewers from the United States of America, when you're signing up to the exchange, click on Other as country of residence, as you can see I'm doing on the screen now, and you will be able to sign up and use the exchange. Normally, as a non-KYC customer, you'll be treated exactly the same as everyone else in the exchange. So please sign up using my referral link. Thanks for watching the advertisement. Let's get back into the video. And I will say this, and this is something I'm being very clear about, and I might have even said it in this video already. 18 hours from now, weekly candle close. Bull market support band. 19.5k. That's the top of the bull market support band. If we close above 19.5k on the bull market support band on the weekly candle close, above the bull market support band, I'll most likely be buying the other 50% of my Bitcoin bag, and then I'll have an average price of Bitcoin probably, well, it depends where the candle closes, obviously, but probably around 18, 19k, which is a very solid average price considering the fact that 19k on the Bitcoin chart, let's go ahead and delete everything and just look at the bear market itself, right? Where is 19k? Where is our average price on Bitcoin if you follow the buying plan? 19k is down here, right? That is a very solid average price. Look at all of the room that we missed out on due to logical analysis, and look at the very small portion of room to the downside that we missed out on due to not getting a good enough price. That is an excellent average price at 19k for this bear market, considering the bottom was at 15.4k, right? So that's what we're doing. Tomorrow, weekly candle close in 18 hours. If we close above bull market support band, unless something dramatic happens, of course, and I see something I've never seen before, which is possible, we have to remain open to possibilities. We'll be buying the other 50%. Now, obviously, if you're very conservative, and this is something I've mentioned multiple times, by the way, you guys should be aware of this by now, to be honest. if you're very conservative, like very conservative trader, you don't want any risk whatsoever, you shouldn't be buying tomorrow at the weekly close at all. In fact, if you're very conservative, you shouldn't be buying until we break 28k, right? I've spoken about this extensively. The actual trend reversal, the actual full trend reversal on a macro scale is 28k, right? You might be saying, well, Wolf, what do you mean? You've been saying the trend reversal's bull market support band. No, you misunderstand. The trend reversal that we're looking for is a preliminary trend reversal. It's an early version of a trend reversal, and it's based on the fact that the 4-year cycle predicted the bottom in Q4, okay? If the 4-year cycle predicted bottom in Q4, right, or early January, which it did, and we succeeded in that, and we break above these levels, it becomes very likely that we'll see a trend reversal in the future. We haven't seen it yet. It becomes likely we'll see it in the future. The actual trend reversal, the actual level, and again, everyone will agree with me on this. Well, most people with brains will agree with me on this because this is just basic analysis at this point. The actual trend reversal comes from a break of the horizontal bear market support line, right? A bear market resistance line, I should say. In 2014, we had the bull market support line at 400. In 2018, we had it at 5,700. And in 2021 and 2022 and this year, we had it at 28.6k roughly. Once we break 28.6k, we are flipping back into into bull market territory, into bull market price range, right? You can see bull market, bear market. It's very easy to simplify. Bull market, bear market, right? Bull market, bear market. Extremely simple. So if you're very conservative and you don't care about getting a good price, you don't really care, you just want to hold Bitcoin and you don't want any real risk, the best thing to do is actually buy at 28.6k when we break above that on the weekly candle. Until then, you should be on the sidelines for sure. But for the rest of us who are looking for a decent average price with relatively low risk, right? Medium risk, say, what you're doing is you're waiting for tomorrow's weekly candle and you're buying if we close above 19.5k. The higher the better, obviously. But yeah, when we buy tomorrow, if we buy tomorrow, I should say, because it's not certain, we could very easily drop below 19.5k in the next 18 hours, considering how overbought the short term is. So I'm not going to act like it's a certainty. It's certainly not a certainty. We could very well drop below, okay? But when we buy, if we buy tomorrow at 19.5k, it's very important that people don't expect that to be like up only from there. It's not how bear markets work. You look at any bear market on Bitcoin macro scale, there's ups and downs. We retest levels, we go up for a while, we go back down months later. So this isn't bull market. Just because the bottom is in, we think, right? If we get that close, not confirmed, just saying, if we get that close, just because we would think the bottom is in, that doesn't mean it's up only. It's not how it works. It's still a bear market, right? Definitions of bear market, there's no real definition, but it's still not bullish, still not a bull market, that's for sure. So just be aware of that, right? Just because you buy doesn't mean it's up only from there. And especially given the short-term state of Bitcoin right now, it's not a very nice short-term. Again, we could be going all the way down to 17.7k. We could very well do that. One thing I would like to note out is that when we buy, the real things we need to be looking at, because obviously when you buy, when you have a portfolio of an asset, the real thing you need to be looking at is the counter argument. So the thing we need to be looking at really is in 16 days, we'll see the monthly candle close. Right now, we're rejecting from resistance that we hold as support on 2 previous bull markets, right? Bear markets. So that's something to watch. Hopefully we close above that in 16 days. If we don't, we'll analyze it at the time, right? This is something we have to look into in 16 days. We can't look at it right now. There's many things that come up in the future that you simply can't. I don't know where Bitcoin's going to close on the monthly candle in 16 days. I don't know. 16 days is too long. I can say short-term price action doesn't look very good, but 16 days isn't exactly short-term. That's more of a medium-term prediction. I don't know where the medium-term is going to be, right? So these are things you have to analyze when they come up. So when you do have a bag of Bitcoin, you have to remain open to the other arguments, right? It's very simple stuff. But I do think there is a lot of confirmation bias when it comes to trading and investing. People love to hunt for arguments that support their point of view, and they never like to take in new evidence. I don't do that, right? I'm very much transparent with my views on Bitcoin, right? My views on Bitcoin have been very simple. I've been bearish on Bitcoin macro since 63k. I actually bought Bitcoin on the channel here, somewhere around here. I can't remember it, like 24k or something I bought, and then within 3 days, I was like, no, I regret buying here, and I sold. I sold at a 1% loss. I'm open to being incorrect. You need to be open to be incorrect in order to be a good analyst. But yeah, ultimately, yeah, weekly candle, I'm just kind of rambling here because there's not really too much to say right now. We just need to wait for this candle. Weekly candle, 19.5k. Above that will be a buy unless something really dramatic happens. If we do get that buy tomorrow, obviously I'm going to be making a video, and we're going to be going into kind of the macro picture at that point, because if we get that buy at 19.5k, essentially what I'm saying at that point through the buy is that I think the bottom is in. Right now I'm predicting the bottom is in. I'm speculating on it, but if I actually buy, I'm pretty much saying, yeah, okay, the bottom is in. And once we do that, we could start making predictions for the future in terms of 2024, 2025, and even for the rest of this year. Okay, guys, so thank you for watching. Sorry for rambling a lot in this video. I sometimes, obviously, I don't script my videos, so sometimes they just kind of go haywire. But ultimately, I think you guys get the point. We just need to be waiting for tomorrow's weekly candle, and we'll make a video then. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.